There is a big, scary army here for Dongregyu with a lot of damage per second. And against Stalkers, it's going to be okay as long as the Colossus count doesn't get too high.
Well, we'll see how high that does get. Of course, he does have a single Viper out still, a few Corruptors, and he's actually going up to Greater Spire, which I really like in this situation. I think that the Corruptors are maybe not going to quite do it, especially since we have seen the possibility of some Void Rays being added in. Right. But some Broodlords could really help to beef up his composition a bit.
Zest is really on point with his tech switches, I gotta say. You know, does he know about the Hive? He does. So he would have expected at this point there was the possibility of a Broodlord transition. Wow, DRG's not letting Warp Prisms go anywhere. Another one goes down there. We saw the Fleet Beacon go up at about that time, so Zest is preparing for this possibility, but now DRG is knocking on the front door. Be great if he got the +3 out of this, but he's not focusing on that. He needs to fight, and he needs to get a good angle. There are not that many Colossus. We need to see focus fire here from the Corruptors and bring the Colossus down. There are still plenty of Hydras down to the south here, but the North Army has been split up, and it has been eliminated now.
You know, it was nice that DRG won that southern battle, but losing the northern battle, a little bit rough. Luckily, he did kill his Colossus, as you say, the Phoenixes as well, in case he wants to do a little switch into mutas later on. But he loses a lot of units also. Yeah. So that's a little bit rough, but his 5th base just finished. So his macro is still staying strong, and I think he's going to be able to continually max out throughout this game.
Yeah, and that's what's key. Yeah, he may not be taking the fights that he needs, but he is killing power units. And those are the linchpins of that Protoss army. He was even able to actually shut down the Cybercore and the Stargate there, strangely enough. So if there was any attempted transition, then that's not going to happen as of yet. But strangely enough, we have no sign of any Broodlords at the moment. He still wants to play Roach, Hydra, Viper for the time being, which is still probably okay. You know, it's not like we see a double Robo down building 2 Colossi.
No, they are incrementing out still here. You know, the Psystorm definitely going to be a big part of his splash damage going forward, and he is trying to get into these Tempests. And I believe that we are going to see some Broodlords kind of soon here. There are some more Corruptors coming out, but not a huge amount. And are Corruptors really going to do better here with this many Blink Stalkers out than Broodlords are? Hard to say.
Oh, that's one dead Mothership Core. Nice little snipe here by Dongregyu. He has a lot of firepower at the top of this cliff here, and with only 1 Colossus and then there's being 3 Vipers, the Storm goes into the center, though. That is the one problem with the Hydra Heavy Force, and he eats a full-on set of Psystorms, dealing significant damage there to that Hydra Force, and he runs into yet another one. I'm surprised he wants to keep trying to commit here.
Oh man, that was a lot of storms. It's a very bruised army. Definitely wouldn't win a fight here, even with the best of ducks you ever saw in your entire life. So probably better that DRG backs off, lets his units heal a bit, let some of these upgrades finish, and join up with your Broodlord force.
Yeah, and that is a really big point. I mean, those are like mobile fire bases. You bring one of those things around, and they're going to be dealing constant damage. They're going to be messing with micro, and they do a great job of that, considering that Broodlings are units. So things like Zealots end up getting charged into the wrong things. You end up targeting these free units. They're coming at a constant rate. The damage is huge, not only from the Broodlings themselves, but from the initial impact of that attack. And you can set up a really strong defensive position around a base with something like that. Currently, the Tempest count is not at the point where Broodlords would be completely useless, but it will eventually get to the point where, of course, Broodlords will get shot down very quickly.
Yeah, you don't want those Broodlords getting one-shotted. That's when it really starts to hurt. And in fact, he's trying to make a mothership, but that's going to be picked off in a matter of seconds here.
Yeah.
In fact, does have to walk back to get it, but
he actually
it looks like he's coming in. He wants to kill this base off, and here come the Broodlords.
Blinding Clouds coming down here as well, in a good position in that choke point as well. I like that decision very much here from Dongregyu, who finally looks like he might be able to take a decent fight, but I'm worried about those Hydras. They're so badly bruised. Double yoinks come in, but he's not focusing fire here on the Colossus. The Blink Stalkers coming under the Broodlords, and through come those 3-1 Zealots, even without charge. They do cut through that Zerg force, and the 4th base lives.
You know, DRG is just committing so heavily to these layer tech units with a little bit of Hive support, and it's not quite working out. Zest's army is cutting through it like a hot knife through butter.
Yep.
He's really got to switch it up a bit, and, well, it looks like he is getting ready for a Swarm Host switch, but he's got to live through this attack first.
I like DRG's decision to prioritize armor, though, because right now we have a very Zealot-heavy force here from Zest, and Roaches against +3 Zealots with the +3 Roach armor upgrade, they're fairly durable. They can certainly do the job, and he's running around the map trying to keep Zest busy while he rebuilds his army here. He's continued to hammer home with a fairly crude style, but something that is doing damage. And bear in mind, Zest has been completely unable to harass this entire time. So DRG is still on 5 bases healthy. And DRG goes for the run by here, but a Zealot Warping comes in to meet it.
Well, you know what? He's dealing at least some damage. He's forcing him around the map. In the meantime, he does have a little force on the right side. Looks like that will be picked off by the Zest Blink Stalkers. But at least he's keeping Zest busy right now. That's actually very important while he figures out what his next move is.
He's losing so much, though. I mean, we talk about inefficiency and his economy, but if we look at it, it is 30,000 resources to 18,000 resources lost. That is maybe too large a gap. I don't know. It's DRG can't keep doing that, and you can see he's struggling now to remax again, while Zest actually has a bank.
Well, you can't just sit on Roach Hydra forever. You know, this is a very mid-game oriented composition. You know, it definitely can work a bit late game with these Vipers and with some Broodlords mixed in, but as we see against Zest, it's not going to work for long, and oh man, he's just getting slaughtered here by Psystorm.
Oh man, DRG has been eating a lot of those, and he comes around for the flank to try and pick off some of the High Templar. He gets one, tries to get a few more. He's getting in there trying to get those abducts, but he doesn't really have too many targets, and actually the Vipers get killed very quickly. But DRG has the firepower now. Finally, he gets the fight he wants. A Tempest falls, goes for another. The Mothership comes in. Overseer is currently still alive. Zealot Warping comes in from the back, though, to try and flank on the Hydralists, doing some damage. The Roaches come and wrap around the side here, but it doesn't matter. GG. And as DRG looks to try and overwhelm Zest, a Mothership out of nowhere and a Zealot Warping turn it around.
A Mothership out of nowhere. The Zealot Warping, absolutely fantastic. That flank knocked that army on its butt. Really good play by Zest. But I do have to say, DRG gave him a nice game there. That wasn't one-sided like the rest of the series we saw today.
No, it definitely wasn't. And there were definitely times where I feel that DRG could have made it happen. And in fact, after breaking that arm, it's like, oh, is this it? Does DRG get the momentum back? And he suddenly ends up in this fight, and Zest somehow engineers these weird situations where he gets attacked from both sides. His Hydras, of course, at the back get hit by pretty high upgraded Zealots. And then there's this Mothership that's protecting things, and DRG kind of doesn't know what to attack, and then he sort of collapses and GG's.
You know, a very interesting series or a game rather, from Zest here, because I feel like I'm learning something about Zest's PvZ specifically here. He's like, he knows when to make it a ball, he knows when to do flanks, he knows when to spread out for surface area, when to stay together. Really great tactical play during these battles. That's what's really turning it on DRG's head, because as you said, you know, he starts to win a battle, and then Zest is like, oh, hey, Zealots from behind. Ha! You lose.
Jeez. Alright. He did at least show some vulnerability, though, there, I've got to say. DRG definitely looked like he was giving him a run for his money in a really big way. Of course, the next map will be Habitation Station. If we're to believe the foreign Protoss pros, it is literally impossible for a Protoss to win on this map against Zerg, so we will see.
Well, believe it or not, I've seen more than a few Protoss victories here.
How is that possible?
Oh, I don't know how that could possibly be, that a race could win on a map. Man. But it is the case. And I think that this could be a good one. I'm really interested to see who, if anyone, takes a quick gold base.
Yeah, who will it be? Is DRG the kind of person to do it? Yeah, totally. Why not? We could see that happen, well, absolutely.
Zest could be as well. You know, he definitely knows how to get aggressive. He knows how to do kind of a quick build. So we could see a quick gold here, maybe into an immortal push or something. That's a strong strategy choice.
Yeah, I could not agree more with that. I just hope DRG gives them another good run. I would like to see this go to 3 games. That definitely did not look one-sided, so that certainly gives me hope for Dongregoo. He's got what it takes, but yeah. Zest has the X factor. He is a reigning champion, and he is proving that he deserves that. He is not one of those one-hit wonders, those flash-in-the-pans that disappear into the night after running away with the GSL prize pool. He is here to stay.
You know, I think that there's a decent chance that Zest is going to win this tournament and then win GSL Codes as well. Like, and then maybe the next Codes and then maybe BlizzCon. This guy is just playing out of his mind. It seems like no matter what happens in the game, he's going to recover and beat you.
It seems like he could, honestly. But DRG is a veteran of many, many wars. You know, he is grizzled. He's got scars. He'll sit in his rocking chair with a shotgun on the front porch and tell you about the wonderful experiences he had on the front. Just waiting to see if he's ready to go. He may have taken a quick break here.
Yeah, maybe gathering his thoughts a little bit. You know, that game, you know, Zest was ahead for most of it, but DRG did definitely have his moments. And I think he's just going back over the game and thinking, okay, you know, I did stand Roach Hydra for a long time, but I was trying to get a power play going. Didn't quite work. Can I make something like that happen on this map? You know, just, you gotta go over things like this in your mind after a loss like that.
Yeah, you definitely do. And it certainly seemed like DRG had the capability to break through there, but he needed something decisive. You can't lose that many fights. Oh, we just lost DRG. Okay, so apparently we can lose DRG there. Now, he's going to be coming back online. Looks like he may have relogged. We'll bring him back into the game nice and quick so we can get him back in here. But you can't lose that many fights. Playing that inefficient trading style can work for Zerg, but eventually you've got to win something, or you've got to kill a base. Yeah, maybe if you killed the 4th base, that might have made a difference, but he didn't.
Yeah, he was like coming close at times and whatnot, but the unit movements of Zest, you know, Tesa said it pretty well last night, I thought, when he was saying Zest loves to play the chess game of StarCraft 2, where he sees your army move and he does the counter move, and he's just... Yeah. He's kind of like walking around the map in the correct patterns so that it's really hard to get damage done to him, and it's pretty easy for him to punish you if you misstep even one time.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Zest is not making too many mistakes, although we certainly saw him at least make a couple. Oh, and there were some good fights for DRG there. So there is hope that someone will be able to fell Zest and stop that 4-0 sweep right through. Although, to be fair, I would absolutely love to watch Zest play any of the round of 4 contestants. We would have a pretty epic PvP series, actually, if he went through in first place. We would be seeing him take on CJ HerO in a best of 7.
God, 2 of the absolute best PvPers in the world, both top 5 easily.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. But there is a man that stands in his way. In the red trunks playing Zerg to the northwest. Put up a really good fight, not quite enough. Can he turn it up to 11? In the red trunks playing Zerg, MVP Dongwei-gu.
And his opponent in the top right of our map. The guy is just too good. It is KT Rolster Zest.
Oh man, and right now he really is on fire. Although forced to play a macro game. To be fair though, it didn't look like he was too worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he wanted to do a lot of damage early on with the Warp Prism and everything, but didn't do quite enough to be able to end the game early on. And the thing about Habitation Station is it definitely can be a quick game, but more lately I feel like we've had longer games on it that actually go to, you know, 4 bases and actual macro play.
Yeah, we certainly have. We've seen, of course, Swarm Host used on this map from time to time. That can work. We've, of course, seen early gold bases taken, which means the Zerg can power forward and put a lot of pressure on earlier than you would anticipate. And Dongwei-gu looks like he is going to try and take that gold as his natural here.
Well,
hang on a minute.
That is actually
Zest's
the gold base. Yeah,
what?
I look a little
like,
bit cheeky.
This is a bit of a weird position. It's like, oh. It's one of those things that your brain refuses to accept initially.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, he just did that.
It's a little bit weird. And I wonder how quickly Zest will scout it, because he's going to go up and check. He's going to see no hatch. He's going to see the pool building and the gas. Then he's going to check the gold base, probably, that is DRG's. Then he's going to figure it out that, uh-oh, this is probably like a quick roach attack, maybe a baneling bust. Something very dangerous, no doubt.
Yeah, that spawning pool timing is too late to be just a pull. There's something else has got to have happened. So when will Zest look for it, and where will he look for it? The gold is an obvious spot to look, but it will surely be, of course, that gold first. And this will be scouted so late. The hatchery will be done by the time the scouting has happened.
And does that mean it's going to be too late? This is obviously a strong strategy that we're seeing out of DRG. I've seen Life do things like this actually quite often. Will it be a Roachhorn? Will it be getting Baneling Nest? What will it be?
Zest just checked the other third, the third that you barely ever take at this point. Only now is he actually going to go and look at the other gold. This could not have gone better for DRG's opening, I feel.
Yeah, this is as late as he could have imagined that it would be scouted. Now, he should know, as he did pass that watchtower, he should have seen some creep.
Yep.
And here's the thing. DRG doesn't necessarily have to do an all-in right away. He could possibly just get Zest to overreact here and, like, you know, maybe turtle up a little bit too hard. Although I do think this is going to be an all-in. I mean,
probably.
It's got to be, right? Like,
it's so close. Like, you negate defender's advantage almost completely by putting a hatchery right outside your opponent's natural, you know? It is the kind of thing that you can make work. And with that massive amount of minerals that he will get there, he can have a lower drone count and simultaneously push forward. The third base is, of course, coming up on the other gold, naturally. Where else would you put it?
Wow. Well, I guess he just wants all the gold bases. You know, he's not really mining that much gas. Sure, he's getting some lings just to make sure that he's going to be safe. But right now, Zest is kind of playing a little bit defensively, right? He's walling in as he should. He's grabbing a forge. I would be surprised if he doesn't make a cannon. And that means that he's kind of going about this slowly. And DRG going macro on 2 gold bases, like, his economy will actually be completely crazy.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's very rare that you see uncontested double golds. But what choice does Zest have? He has no choice at the moment other than to let this happen. Because he has no map control. He has only a mothership core out on the map here, which will be mildly annoying, and that will be about it. There are lings, there's creep coming out. I mean, it's not like, it's going to get to the point where Zest can't even leave his base without DRG knowing. Yeah,
this is a little bit tough for Zest here, man. Now that he sees that both golds are being taken, he's like, what is going on? Am I against the Michael Phelps Zerg here? What is happening?
He loves gold, man. There's no doubt about that. DRG's going to be sleeping in it tonight if he is able to win this group. And, you know, this is a strong... I mean, this isn't just a strong start. This is the ultimate start. Every Zerg dreams of being able to get away with this.
No, this is actually crazy, man. He's going to get a lair. He's getting the Roachhorn. When he starts his macro, I'm actually starting to get chills. I'm like, how quickly is he going to max out with this? This is going to be crazy. And he's going to have more roaches than normal because you don't need as many drones to mine on gold minerals.
No, you don't.
Crazy.
This is
oh my god.
He's almost at 2,000 income right now, minerals per minute. As a result, he's banking up the gas to start roach production. His roach warren is about to finish. He's of course getting lair tech, potential speed. Oh, the mothership core dies. That again shouldn't have happened. Zest looking rattled. He really does.
Yeah, this is...
He had no excuse to lose that mothership core. Shouldn't have happened.
Well, we'll see if he loses this warp prism, Totalbiscuit. He's got 2 stalkers, 2 sentries. He really needs to get something done with this. Like, if he can kill a few drones off, that's gonna be nice. It's gonna be the start of Zest doing something really good in this game.
Yep. He gets a couple of drones here and there. He's now, of course, going to hop over to the other side. DRG may be needing to consider a little bit of static defense if he knows this warp prism is around. Because this is really, right now, the only way Zest can attack until he starts to build up his forces large enough, get those big Colossus. For God's sake, there is static defense, but it's on the other side of the map. It's a spine crawler wall, preventing Zest from actually leaving at the moment. It's not going to help against this warp prism, though.
No, certainly not. He's just going to have to run around against that for now, and it really looks like we're actually going to see Zest do a 2-base Colossus all in, and I think that's probably the right choice. Trying to take a third, he'll just get smashed.
Yeah.
But a 2-base Colossus all in, I don't know if that's going to work against an economy like this out of DRG. He's going to be able to make so many units here as he starts. He's getting his Hydras and Links first, but we should see an explosion of roaches coming up pretty soon.
Indeed. Dongray Gold is what we'll be calling him after this game if this goes well for him. And I hope that it will. I really do. Ling's responding so fast. DRG on the ball there, shutting that down before any force fields can be placed. Just dealing with the only way that Zest currently has to harass and attack. It's a shame that there was no Spire. I'd just love to see one Corruptor just chasing that thing around. That would be great. But DRG has enough units to cover all his bases now anyway, so it's really not that important. Hydras are being added on. There are about to be 3 Colossus, though. You know, that 2-base Colossus push that you were talking about. Wow, there's creep all the way up to the up the natural ramp here. It's like, I've thrown out the red carpet for you, Zest. I heard you were Royal Roader. Here's my Royal Road for you. See how you like riding that?
Yeah, see how you like walking down this road.
Indeed.
Oh my god. This is like so scary. Look at this macro start. He's even taking a 4th base against a 2-base Zest. Like,
yeah.
DRG, man, you are out of control here. But this is a scary Zest army, and DRG has to engage this just right, or he can definitely still lose this game.
Oh yeah, totally. You know, the Spine Crawlers are cute. They do delay the army and do a little bit of damage here, but we do have to see a good fight. And to be fair, it's a lot of Lings. They're all Hydras coming around the side. He's trying to collapse the right flank. He's able to do it. So many units streaming right into the middle of Zest's army. The 3 Colossus still alive, though. Will they be able to survive? One is about to fall. DRG continues to stream in reinforcements. The front is gone here for Zest. The warp in of Zealots comes in from the side. Only 1 Colossus remains.
Well, the 1 Colossus still doing a lot of damage, but I think DRG gonna be able to hold this off. Only 1 sentry left over, which is also a really big deal. How does Zest win from here? I can't think of anything, man. This is like way too much coming out of DRG.
DRG dropping the hammer here, and he's doing exactly what I hoped he would, bringing the other Spine Crawlers forward, although maybe the wrong time for that. But he does know, of course, where his opponent is. He's able to pick off a Zealot, pick off a couple more, just make sure that wall isn't there. There's only 1 Colossus now, and here it is. Just blow after blow after blow being thrown by Dongregu at the weakened defense here of Zest, but he continues to hold on.
Well, Zest continuing to warp in these units, trying to push down his ramp, but you know, it's only just, as you said, holding on when you're barely getting down your ramp against all this creep and all of these Zerg units. And with more and more streaming out, the fact that he's up 50 supply, when Zest actually commits to an attack here, I cannot imagine DRG not crushing it.
Yeah. I am still a bit worried about the lack of answer to Colossus, and I think DRG is as well. He is going for Spire just to make sure that that all gets sorted out. Because, you know, Lings and Roaches against Colossus don't generally work that well. They will be trading inefficiently, but look at the surround! DRG comes in from the back, trying to focus down the Colossus. Not able to get it, though. The force fields are really good here from Zest, and he continues to hold on. Zest surely cannot actually beat this. That can't happen, can it? But the Colossus goes down. DRG continues to hammer home.
Well, it looks like DRG's still probably going to hold, but that is some great control from Zest. The fact that he still has an army on this map, and the fact that he's only 23 supply down now, that's a pretty good change of affairs for him.
Oh, yeah.
But DRG does have that additional hatch. He does have his natural, although no drones there quite yet.
Yeah.
And he's going to be able to keep up this production is what that means.
Force field energy, lots of it, lots of sentries, but that does mean the amount of damage is limited. It looks like Zest wants to try and get out as many Immortals as possible here, but I don't think DRG is going to give him the opportunity. There are 31, 34 now Roaches and additional Queens that will be able to fight a little bit on creep here.
Well, if he does go off into that creep, we see DRG already has a gigantic flank planned out.
Yeah, he does.
The creep spread actually quite immaculate, way down the side of the map. Going to be hard for Zest to sneak around anywhere at all.
Yep, Zest is trying to take a 3rd base. He needs to wait for the creep to recede just a little bit more to make that happen here. DRG coming around the side. Zest, of course, should have known this was going to happen, so I imagine he's going to try and sandwich him between his reinforcements and the Immortal at the back, but are there just too many Roaches to stop it? Here come the force fields. They're looking pretty good. There is Hydra and Queen support around the back, though, so let's see if Zest can once again hold on to this. So far, the engagement is looking good, but Roaches make their way around the side. 1 sentry goes down, another sentry goes down, but DRG is not able to break Zest.
Oh my god, these force fields from Zest are just absolutely magnificent, cutting that army into pieces. DRG just not able to kill Zest. I bet you when DRG does this strat against his teammates and whatnot, they're dead 4 or 5 minutes ago, but Zest putting up a real fight on only 2 bases.
That said, it's a Hydra transition here for DRG, and there is only 1 Colossus. That DPS is going to be scary, but yet again, immaculate force fields cut off about 7 or 8 units, and DRG this is kind of death by 1,000 cuts here that Zest is inflicting on him.
Yeah, it's a painful way to go down, and something DRG is going to regret if he does end up losing this game. But he's still got the supply lead. He's moving in, trying to get into a nice position. Nice micro on that Colossus, pulling it back, forcing DRG to reconsider the attack.
Yep, the third base is about to complete here for Zest. If he gets that, he will have a decent economy. Bear in mind, of course, those gold bases mine out quick. And they're almost mined out as well. So DRG's power economy, that only lasts for about 18, 19 minutes. And at that point, he's got to start playing like a regular player again. And he has not done the damage yet to be able to put Zest in an unwinnable position.
Well, you know, it seems like Zest, no matter what happens in a game, is always in a winnable position of some sort. Will he be able to actually take this game? Now at 140 supply with 3 bases up, it's looking more likely, especially since the gold bases are starting to fall. But because he's mined out the gold base of Zest, if this game goes super long, maybe that's gonna bite Zest in the butt.
Yep, we have yet more great force fields, though, and an excellent time warp. DRG not getting the angle he needs at all there. He's got to be so frustrated at this point. He's got so many guns to bring to bear against Zest, but it's not mattering. Colossus does fall, though, and the Hydralisks will have a good time now. Is this going to be the amount of damage required? Looks like no, it is not. Zest is continuing to hold on. Roach is streaming, but they're streaming in piecemeal. Zest goes below 100 supply, but DRG, GG's, and Zest!
Oh my god.
What the hell?
Watch? What is going on? Zest just can't lose StarCraft games.
I don't understand. Like, that... No one else surely could pull that off.
No, I mean, I thought for sure Dongreed Gold was gonna win that, but... Zest, like, just held on. He stayed calm. It took him forever to take a third. He lost so many Colossus. DRG was like miles ahead for the whole game. It didn't matter at all. That was crazy. And Zest flies into first place in this group. I can't even believe it.
Oh, wow. That's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Like, that... It could not have gone better as an opener for DRG. Like, he shut that harass down. He had so much money. And
the Mothership Core?
Yeah.
What?
Like, everything was coming up DRG. And somehow Zest holds? Not only holds, but then he wins like 5 or 6 fights in a row, outnumbered, outgunned, gets those perfect force fields every single time, and DRG taps out?
DRG
Insane.
has to be kicking himself, man. That was like, he was so sure he was going to win that game for a long time, and then just eventually he's looking at it and saying, oh my god, my golds are empty. I guess I just lose. Oh, but... You know what, DRG's still in it, and he actually gave Zest 2 very good games, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta say that I wouldn't be surprised if DRG does get to still come out of this group in second place.
He could. He very well could, although he certainly has a decent amount of opposition. He will be waiting for the winner of Liquid HerO and CJ Entus Byung in the final match. We may see a rematch, of course, and DRG was looking really, really solid there, but Zest is... I mean, that's not champion material. That is a living, breathing champion, and he is not giving up his position. He is not content just to win a couple of GSL titles. He wants to be the absolute best on the planet. Right now, he is, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I think it's really, really difficult to argue that anyone is actually better than Zest right now.
Yeah. Now, here's a question I've got for you. From a shoulda, woulda, coulda kind of hypothetical situation. Is there anything Dongreegu could have done? Because it seems to me like what he was doing, and the fact that Zest was defending perfectly for like a 15-minute period of time, it seems like DRG would have had to vary things up, yeah? He tried to do a more kind of Hydra-heavy transition, tried to toss a couple of Corruptors in there, but what about something a little bit more out of the ordinary? What about a Nidus into the main base, for instance? Something along those lines.
Actually, the first thing I thought of as you started to phrase the question, like what could he have mix it up to win that. Like, if he had done something as simple as, instead of one of the suicidal attacks, upgraded Overlord's speed and drops, I think that would have been a victory for sure. Like, and the thing is, it's not, I don't think he was even wrong to do what he did, because it's, like, ludicrous to think anyone could ever hold that off, which Zest did, which is crazy. But if he had done something like get drops, I think it would have been an easy victory. You drop right on top of those force fielders, and the game will end. But you know, the force fields were just out of this world, and Zest just picked his fights way too well to lose to a ground army, and apparently you just can't kill him like that.
Yeah. tunneling claws, maybe? Some possibility there? It does definitely...
Yeah, maybe tunneling calls, like, even that's a great idea. I mean, it was really the force fields that eventually won that game.
Yeah, I think it seems to me that DRG has been in situations like this before. He's got this build up, and he's probably never lost. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, with that build. So he
Agreed.
did what he did every other game, which is Sledgehammer. Throw as many Roach Hydra into his opponent as possible, trade in efficiently because you can, and burn through those gold bases, which, as we saw, takes about 18 minutes before both of them get pretty much mined out. And you have such an income lead that you just